I have the award shit here, man. Right? I have it here. We're gonna go one by one. Now, it is, I know it's gonna be controversial, so it's okay. Right? It's okay. But before I go over anything, right? Before I go over anything, before I show my screen, before we go through the winners of the factions, right? For those who don't know what the factions are and stuff like that, I can explain it after this. I do want to say W fucking year. Okay? W year. Okay? We've had over 24 wars, and like half of them, 75% of them, were literally in the last 3 to 4 months, bro. Cut the yap and give me my words. Annie, who the fuck do you think you are, bitch? I'm trying to make a speech here, and you're fucking interrupting me. Okay? I screen W can stream consistency. Am I right? Okay, okay. I'm gonna talk about that soon, right? But before I talk about all that stuff, genuinely W year, man. We've had a lot of memories, right? I know the community is still relatively small, and we all know why that is, right? But genuinely W fucking community, W wars, W tournaments, W everything, man. Right? The community is relatively small, right? And it's because I don't stream all that often, right? Even though I do Discord streams, it's because I don't stream all that often. I'm gonna change that, right? But I do want to say I'm very appreciative of everybody in the community. Everybody that wins an award today, you deserve it, genuinely. And you're gonna see in the future that it's gonna be a bigger deal than you even realize, genuinely. And I want to say that you guys, everybody has things to do in life, right? I know there's a lot of people in like the server and in each faction that have stuff to do. Everybody does. Everybody has work, college, high schools, just school in general, extracurriculars. Everybody has family responsibilities. Everybody has stuff to do. And I'm very, very understanding of that for the most part. You know what I mean? But for the people that just show up, right, because they just love the community, no matter what, because nobody's technically that busy. But for the people that show up consistently, right? Even though you piss me off, I want to say thank you, right? Because I wanted to keep the community relatively small, right? And I know that sounds weird, but I wanted to keep it relatively small because I needed it. I needed to see the potential, and not only that, but I needed to barely. Okay. But I needed it to be contained, right? Because those things I had to learn, right? I needed to learn how to organize events, tournaments, right? I needed to know how the faction structure was going to work, how the lore structure was going to work, how the first season was going to work. I wouldn't have been able to do that if we had over 1,000 people, one, you know what I mean, 1,500, 10,000. So that's why I didn't really stream all that much, right? I did Discord streams every day, right? I could have just did streams. You know what I mean? It wasn't because of that, right? It was just I wanted to connect with my community, right? Because the lore is really big on that. But not only that, but I just wanted to see how it would work, right? Because we're doing something very ambitious. I know it seems like it isn't ambitious, but we are. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, right? For the people that see the potential, like Annie, right? The nigga got banned so many times, but he keeps wanting to come back, right? People like him, I still appreciate because he sees the potential on what we have going on, right? Regardless of like, you know what I mean? I've said it in passing many, many times, and he sees the potential of what we got going on, which is why he keeps trying to get back into the community. What a fucking banner, right? But still, I'm very appreciative because it's like a level of belief, right? He'll say this, he'll say that, but it's a level of belief in the community. And that's all I ever really wanted for the most part. So I'm very appreciative to you guys, to the captains, World Council, to the mods, right? And to everybody that showed up day in, day out to make the community pop in, right? Even though we didn't have that many people, very much, right? I am gonna start streaming very consistently, right? Now that I know how things work, I know how the wars are gonna work, I know how to organize all that stuff. No matter how many people are gonna come, I'm able to do all that stuff, right? I know you guys don't believe me because I'll say this all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming consistently. No, genuinely, it's gonna be a new era for during season two, right? But before we get to season two, we have to go ahead and we have to tip our hats to all the people that showed out in season one. Now, for the people that didn't get nominated, for the people that didn't win an award, right? One, if you got nominated, pats on the back, right? And you're gonna see in the future that being nominated is gonna be a bigger deal than you even realize, right? But even if you didn't get nominated, season 2 is here, right? And I did put out an announcement, right? That I forgot what I said, but it was around the lines of this is the time. Well, last season was the time, right? But now is the time to stat pad, right? Because it's gonna get kind of crazy soon, right? It genuinely is. It's gonna get kind of crazy soon, right? But for those who win an award today, just know I am proud. Now, mind you, I'm young. I'm not your dad. I'm not even really a role model for real. But it's still nice to know that people are proud of you, right? And it could be anything. Accomplishing anything or getting achievements in anything is still worthy of praise. You know what I mean? Right? Because anything you do, if you win at it, especially consistently, it's some level of talent that you should be proud of yourself in. You know what I mean? Like I said, only very few people know what we're trying to do here. And it's not just a regular community where we play games and we have a season, we do wars. It's much bigger than that. And I want to give opportunities to people that wouldn't get opportunities in general, right? This isn't just like a community where people support me and that's it. No, right? I wanted it to be its own ecosystem. I wanted it to be its own thing, its own thriving culture, its own everything, right? And this is it, right? This is the building blocks. You guys are a part of the building blocks of it, right? Whether you realize it or not, or you're here for the jokes, or you're here for the fun, and you're here for all these things, right? Just know you're bigger than something that you don't even realize yet. And I'm just happy you're here, regardless of the reasons. Okay? So with all that being said, right? 2026 CYN League Awards. First annual ceremony of the crowns, right? We're going to be giving a lot of crowns, a lot of faction crowns, right? Let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it, bro. Hop on the rails. Brad, I should fucking ban your dumb ass right now. All right? All right. Now, factions are up. These are the categories. All right. Best faction aesthetic, man. Best faction aesthetic. All right. Now, this award goes to the faction with just the best overall aesthetic, right? RP, outfits, all of that stuff, right? They are the faction that just is the most lore accurate, in my opinion, right? The winner, 2026 crown for best faction aesthetic, is indeed gonna go to Virus, bro. Clap it up to Virus Sovereign. Yeah, no, Virus, bro. W Virus faction for best faction aesthetic, bro. W's. Now the Syndicate Award. Okay? Now this is the best alliance that we've ever had. Now we've had plenty of alliances. We've had the SV Alliance, Sovereign Virus. We've had Phantoms Glitch, right? We've had plenty. We've had Phantoms, Monarchs Glitch. We've had Sovereigns. We've had plenty. We've had Monarchs Virus. All sorts. Okay. 2026 crown for the Syndicate Award is gonna go to the MSV Alliance, the Monarch Sovereign Virus Alliance. Now, this is the alliance that have won most of the wars for this season. And this, based off of popular voting, word to bro, is the best alliance we've had this season. Virus and Sovereign was low-key giving MPG belt to ass. Facts, bro. You know what I mean? Facts. 100%. Big Sovereign shit, facts. Nigga's a Monarch. What? You know what? W's. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to say anything, bro. W's. Best faction aesthetic winner. And the Syndicate Award winner is the MSV. So for the MSV, all three of these factions, Monarchs, Sovereign, and Virus, are going to get this award. It goes towards the overall alliance, so all three factions are going to get this, okay? Fucking losers over there in Phantoms, bro. Fucking losers. All right. Moving on. Now, the Master Tacticians Award. Now, the Master Tactician Award is going to go towards the faction that's had the best overall planning, right? You guys have seen the nominees, and any of them could have earned that award, right? Whether it's the Monarchs, Phantoms, Sovereign, Virus. There was plenty of options in regards to it. You know what I mean? We took all the manipulation into account, all the planning into account, strategies into account, all of it, right? All of it we put into account. Now, so many factions, about 2 to 3 factions could have won this award, but it went to the faction that just overall had it all in regards to it. You know what I'm saying? The Master Tactician's Crown winner for 2026 is going to go to Sovereign, bro. It's going to go to Sovereign. It's going to go to Sovereign, bro. Glitch isn't winning shit. Yo, don't talk about Glitch like that, bro. Don't talk about Glitch like that. All right? Don't talk about Glitch like that, bro. Tej robbed again. Tej, these are factions. These aren't individuals yet. Right? We're not at the individual category, bro. W's. W's, W's, W's. The most war wins. Crowned. Right? This goes towards the faction that's had the most war wins in the entire... It's like a fly. What the... Anyway, sorry. This is going to go to the faction that had the most war wins. Okay? The faction with 11 total war wins, half of the war wins for the season, is going to go to this particular faction. The most war wins crowned winner 2026 is going to go to Sovereign. Clap it up. Clap it up, bro. Clap it up. Where's the bro? Big Sovereign shit. Big Sovereign shit. This is, I mean, that's a stat. Fuck this, Jace. That's a stat. That's literally you can go on the CYN app, which we will right after this new robbery record. Yo, we can't beat that ass, bro. We actually can't. It's okay, Jace. You were rarely here. Fuck you, Sovereign. All right, bro. Y'all gonna have to watch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is my faction. It's not my fault. Y'all didn't win. Where's it, bro? All right. The VP award. Now. We have faction points, but as a lot of you guys know with faction points is that we've had multipliers on wars throughout the season, right? So some wars were technically more impactful than others, right? The Black Hole 10X, the 5X F1, right? The Grand Prix that we did, right? The War Tycoon 2, 3, 4, like we've had plenty of wars with multipliers, but the VP award goes towards the faction, right, that had the most faction points without multipliers. So if we took all the multipliers out of those wars and we just gave people faction points, right, this is going to go towards the faction that had the most faction points if there was no multipliers, right? Technically the number one faction with no multipliers. The VP award, right, the VP crown for 2026 winner. Drum roll, please. Is gonna go to Virus. Virus, man. Virus, I am super proud of you guys. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. W award to them, right? These guys have gone through it the entire season. Had a rough start the entire season. Like, had a rough start at the start of the season, right? And still continue to show up and show up and show up and show up and battled it through all the way into the bitter end, right? I'm proud of you guys, genuinely. Leo, Soul, when you were there, Bigfoot, right? I know you guys, a lot of you guys are in different factions, right? Tornado too, right? Xavier. You guys are in different factions right now. Some of you guys aren't. But I'm still very proud of the fact that you guys did show up and you guys didn't give up, even when you guys wanted to. And I'm glad you guys listened. You know what I mean? You guys very much deserve this award, in my personal opinion. It was very close, right? Sovereign was catching up to the point where Sovereign was actually leading, and you guys made sure you guys held it down. You guys not only overtook Sovereign, but you also overtook the Part 1 Monarchs. The Part 1 Monarchs that were very dominant at the very start of the season. You guys also took down your enemy at the start. Very much deserving. No cap. Congratulations. Virus is going to be the VP award winners for 2026. W's, bro. W's. Now, for the crown jewel. Faction of the year crown, right? Oh, I'm sorry if I say crown a lot. That's what it is, right? Like I'm giving you guys a crown. Right? It's not really an award, it's a crown, bro. Now, faction of the year. This goes towards the overall best faction of the season, right? Most war wins, most impressive record, right? Just everything, strategy, alliance, versatility, all of that, right? A lot of factions could have gotten this award, right? End of the year Phantoms, Virus, Part 1 Monarchs, End of the year Sovereign, right? Not Glitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's my fair. Don't talk shit about Glitch. All right, we're not doing that. This isn't a Glitch hate. Okay. Now, anybody could have won this award. We've thought about this very heavily when it comes down to all this. The faction of the year for 2026, with everything being included, is gonna go to the Sovereign. It's gonna go to Sovereign, bro. It's gonna go to Sovereign, bro. W's, bum ass Virus and Virus. What the fuck? Jace, how is that a what the? Literally, how? How is that a what the fuck? Literally, that isn't a what the fuck. All right, that's not. That is pretty obvious, bro. All right, and that is gonna conclude the faction section for the CYN League Awards. W crowns, right? So I am gonna update for the factions, right, on the actual website, right, on the app that we have. I'm going to update all of this for the factions so you guys will be able to see it. Mind you, this is a once a year thing, right? So word, why is Sovereign getting every award? Bro, this is biased as hell. It's not. It's because the faction won a lot, right? Like, why would you give, right? Like, that's like giving the finals trophy to, right? Like, that's like giving, like, okay, if the Knicks win the finals, why would I give the award to the Spurs if the Knicks won? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? How would Sovereign not be it? They have most faction wins, the best war win rate, right? All of their members were at the top of the leaderboards, right? That doesn't make sense. It's just what it is, man. It's literally is just what it is. You got me crying. Why would Glitch win anything? Glitch didn't. Okay, so the thing about Glitch is that they didn't participate enough. Why would they win anything? There wouldn't be a single thing they would win at. Literally, there wouldn't be a single thing they would win at. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. They would, you know what I'm saying? All we see is Virus and Sovereign. Well, all that's who wins. I'm sorry. That's who wins, bro. That's who wins. I'm sorry. Right? This isn't what you want. Participation trophies? You guys want some participation trophies? Well, that's too fucking bad. There is no participation trophies in the CYN. It's either your first or your last. Sovereign carry job. Sovereign as a whole was a good, I mean, like I said, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we have other awards to get to, right? VP, deserved, right? Faction of the year is Sovereign, right? Most faction points. Led in members points, lower power points, right? Has the most war wins and the highest war win percentage. How would they not be faction of the year? You know what I mean? Honestly, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It wouldn't go to Glitch. Phantoms, I think, could have won it if they had more time, right? Like, Phantoms actually could have won it if they had more time. Virus could have won it if they actually were able to beat the Part 1 Monarchs. It would have gone to faction. It would have probably gone to Virus. Monarchs, if they would have kept their dominance at the beginning of the season throughout the entire season, the Monarchs would have won it. But besides that, we award winners, not losers, bro. Where the fuck would not date award, bro? That is not an award. All right, but at the end of the day, W award, man. W's, MVP teach. I'm a winner. Damn, if you guys are reacting, some of you guys are this mad over factions, or you guys are gonna hate the next ones. Mind you, the awards weren't picked by me alone, right? Leo was in there. Leo knows who wins. Prap was there. Xavier, like other captains were there to pick who wins this stuff, right? So if you're gonna get mad at people, be mad at the people that are in your own faction, bro. You know what I mean? Word to bro. All right, let's get to our awards. Wait a fucking second, bro. All right, I forgot who wins. Oh, that's kind of exciting. All right, let's get to Ooh, let's get to events. Let's get to events. Let's get to events before we start doing individuals. All right, let's get to events before we do, like, you know what I mean, the individuals and stuff. Best duel of the year. Best duel of the year. Now, Prince knows Virus was amazing. Absolutely, every faction was amazing. The only faction I can honestly say that wasn't amazing, I'm sorry, is Glitch. Glitch was the only faction that wasn't amazing. Right? I'm sorry. Right? But Glitch is going to be on the come up. They have Acid, they have Tigo, they have Chop LeBron, Jessica, Kayla. They got a bunch of people. They're going to be perfectly fine this next season. They might actually win most of the awards. They have Jade, right? They're going to win most of the awards next season. If they tighten up. If they don't, then word. Delete the faction? Why would we delete the faction? They're about it. You guys are going to start winning. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. All right, duel. Yeah, duel, like a fight. Best 1v1 duel. All right. Now, there's been plenty of duels that have been great, but it could only go to one. This duel was very memorable. Okay? Not only W Streamer, thank you, man. Tej versus Prince. Shut the fuck up, Tej. Right? Before I slaughter you. Best 1v1 equals Prince. What? I don't even think I was nominated. What are you talking about? I wasn't even nominated for this one. I didn't have a memorable duel. I'm not word. Anyways, best duel, right? This duel was very memorable. There was a lot of memorable duels that had a lot of impact. M versus Tornado was very impactful. It was so impactful that we made an entire video for it. Okay? Not only that, but it was also the Monarch Civil War, right? Bread versus Annie. Very impactful duel, right? Because it justified and also showed us who was one of the best gamers in the CYN in regards to it. But there was only one duel that was more impactful and more unreal than the others. The duel winner, right? The crown winner for best duel in 2026 is gonna go to Leo and Krim. Leo and Krim. Now, Krim's banned, so he doesn't even know this is happening, right? But W Leo, very, very great duel for those who were there. Everybody knows, bro. What do you mean, bro? Chop versus Prince. No, bro. Jace versus CYN. Jace won. Yeah, we're just talking about anything, right? Very, very great duel. Leo, very underrated. That was when people respected Leo at that point in time moving forward. Very, very deserving. Very proud, right? That was the best duel of the year. All right, best 1v1 of the year. Now, the Phoenix Award. Now, the Phoenix Award, right? The Phoenix Crown goes towards the biggest underdog moments, right? Where nobody thought these people were gonna win, right? Some instances, right? Phantoms, Scoob, Solo goes into the F1 event against all other factions and wins by himself. By 50. Prince winning the Sniper Duels tournament with all odds against him and coming out on top. But there was only one instance where everybody was against them and they still came out on top. This person had their own faction against them. Other factions against them. People were betting against this person to lose, right? They were betting on this person to lose, and they won. The Phoenix Crown for 2026 goes to Leo and Krim. Leo went through all adversity to win that duel, and it was the biggest shock. Leo, very deserving, 100%. Leo and Krim had not only the best duel, but the best underdog moment. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. 100% congratulations. Congratulations, bro. Told y'all my goat Leo would destroy Crib. No, we actually caught you in 4K that wouldn't happen. Oh, this is wrong. Okay. This on the actual banner is wrong. I know who's supposed to win this. On the actual banner, this is wrong. But I'm gonna show it anyways. But I'll tell you guys who the actual winners for this is. Rivalry of the year. Rivalry of the year. Okay. Here, let me zoom out. Now, there have been plenty of rivals in the CYN. Okay. Somebody said no doubt Krem versus Bryce. That wasn't a bad rivalry. Right? There have been plenty of rivalries and have come in all shapes and sizes. Tej versus Prince. Yo. Now, we've had rivalries in the shape of people and in factions. Monarchs versus Virus was very good. Right? But there was only one rivalry that came above all others. Rivalry of the year crown goes to none other than Chop LeBron and Acid. Come on. That is the rivalry of the year, bro. Chop LeBron and Acid with Diddy Force and Anti-Chop Force, right? They're one of the reasons we started the factions at the very, very beginning, right? They've had a consistent hate and rivalry throughout the year, 1v1s and all sorts of stuff. They are such rivals that even when they're in the same faction, they still talk shit to each other. They just can't help it. That is going to be the rivalry of the year. Congratulations to Chop LeBron and Acid. Best war. The best war of 2025 and 2026. Now, we've had a lot of S tier wars. We've had a lot of A tier wars. TSG 5. War Tycoon 2. The Barracuda War. TSG War 4. TSG War 5. Coliseum. We've had plenty of S tier and A tier wars. But there could only be one. Now, this war was honestly, for those who participated in it, was great. Right? It happened about, I want to say 7 to 8 months ago. But it's still memorable to this day. Right? And I feel like everybody involved could also agree that this war was honestly legendary. Mr. Penis or Mr. Bob? The fuck are we talking about? Best war of 2025 and 2026. Best war crown goes to TSG War 4. That is gonna be, now we've had plenty, and this took a long debate. Took very, very long debate. But yes, it was above Barracuda, and Barracuda was peak. It was above all the War Tycoons. This is for sure gonna go to TSG War 4, for those who were there. Another war Virus lost. Fuck you, Annie. I mean, Virus did lose it, but it was a great war. It was supposed to be 1.8 arena. That was an F tier war. Words about. Comeback of the year. Now, this took so long to debate, right? It took us about, I want to say, 25 minutes to actually discuss who, not only nominees, but also who is going to win comeback of the year, right? And when we discuss comeback of the year, right, the person or faction, right, that could win comeback of the year, right? There's been plenty, right? Virus coming back from their VP deficit, war losses, to now leading in VP and gaining that award and winning wars. Acid, who had a -11 lore power score, to now having over 30 power from being in that deficit, right? There have been Xavier, who was out all the way at the bottom majority of the season. So now making an incredible comeback near the end. There's been plenty of individuals and factions that have been at the bottom and came back. But this one in particular that won was at the bottom to start and made their way back. Comeback of the year crown. Winner 2025-2026. Season 1. Winner is gonna go to Virus. W Virus, man. W Virus. Comeback of the year, man. They literally lost like 4 wars. 5, like literally 4 wars back to back in a like 5-month period just to make an incredible comeback. They were technically the worst faction in the entire CYN. Below Glitch, Phantom, Sovereign wasn't a thing, and especially below Monarchs. And they made an incredible comeback. W Virus for comeback of the year. Now, for best stream of the year. Now, we've had plenty of arcs and we've had plenty of streams, right? But there was only one stream above all else, right? Clipping stream, peak. 24-hour stream, peak. Dead Rails arc, peak. Beyblade arc, peak. Music stream, that's a great pool. Late night music stream that we did, peak. But there was only one that was above all the others. And that is gonna go to the anime opening stream. It's gonna go to the anime opening stream for the best stream of the year. W's, man. All right, that's an L. You're only saying that's an L because you weren't there. Where's it, bro? Because you weren't there, bro. But it could have gone anyway. Clipping stream, 24-hour stream. But the anime opening, for those who were there, can't deny, that was one of the best streams we've had all year. The most collective stream we've had all year. And the most contributive stream we've had all year. 100% overall, best stream of the year. Dead Rail stream, but you can't name one Dead Rail stream, right? I can't say entire April stream of the year. Like, those are multiple streams. You can't name one in particular. Now, can you? Come on now. Come on now. All right, let's move on, man. Ooh, I like this. All right. We're gonna go into the individuals. Individual awards. Individual crowns. Now, these are gonna go to people in particular now, right? Very specific people in particular. Now, Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. People that have joined the community late and performed. Now, there have been plenty of people deserving of this award. But only one person shined above all. Right? This person won many tournaments, many wars, and made strong contribution to their faction since they've joined. 2026 Rookie of the Year crown is going to go to none other than Mr. Scoob himself. W. Scoob, bro. Very deserving, man. Joined in April, and the amount that he was able to do in 2 months is actually insane. turned the entire faction around for the most part. Very strong in every war. Won the F1 event. 5x multiplier, mind you. By himself. Rookie of the year is gonna go to Scoop. W's, man. Very deserving. There was a lot of people that were deserving of the award, right? But that in particular was very, you know what I mean? We're talking about 2-time MVP, 3 to 4-time SVP. Word, man. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Come on now. We won JJS 2v2. Yeah. He's won plenty of tournaments. You know what I'm saying? He's won plenty of tournaments. Ooh. All right, well, niggas is not going. All right. I'm gonna just, you know what I mean, we're gonna go through all of them, right? Let's bounce around. Let's bounce around. Best CYN storyteller of the year. Now, best CYN storyteller was actually closer than you realize. You know what I mean? The obvious, Leo. All year, very consistent. Bigfoot, at the start of the year, had great stories. Honestly, very seriously great stories. From a first-person perspective of people. Very, very good. Soul, having great mangas. Right? All three of them had great, could have won it. I don't think people even realize how long it took us to actually do. We actually had to go back to read certain people's mangas and stuff to actually go and guess who was the best CYN storyteller. But there could only be one person to win this. Best CYN storyteller. Very deserving. Winner of the 2026 season is going to go to none other than the virus captain, Leopardo. That's right. I said your full government, bro. W Leo, man. W Leo, bro. W winner, bro. Very deserving, bro. Very, very, very deserving, bro. Right? Could have gone to Soul. I think if Soul would have just kept going, bro, he could have won it. Right? Bigfoot was banned, so like he kind of just had, you know what I mean? It was just unfortunate. But Leo, even with all that being said, Leo would have probably still have won it. Leo, congratulations, bro. L rigged. I don't know why Trap's saying that when he was in the VC. Anyways, bro. Best storyteller is gonna go to Leo. Not rigged, not biased, 100% word. Those mangas took a long time too. I know, man. It was great, bro. I'll take People's Champion. Word. W People's Champion, bro. Be right back. I got you, Jace. Most SVPs. Right? Now, this is a fairly obvious stat, right? The person that has the most SVPs in the CYN, right? Person that kind of came in second, word to bro. But person that has the most SVPs, right? Now, there was a tie and there was a person that had one below the tie, right? So we went and did our research throughout the entire CYN history to see who had more impactful SVPs, right? Who was closer to the MVP, who contributed more towards their faction, right? And their faction, like, you know what I mean? Like where they placed and all of that, right? And the answer was very clear. I'm just kidding, I didn't win. All right, most SVPs for the CYN Season 1 winner is gonna go to Mr. Leopardo again with 4 SVPs. Congratulations to Mr. Leo. W me, Brad, you had 3, but we still looked into it. We still looked into it to see if yours were more impactful, and they just weren't. They just weren't. Leo's was even more impactful than mine, and I also had 4. He deserves it, bro. We did our research, man. We're not just saying that. Stop saying my legal name. Your legal name is in your user, bro. What are we talking about? Literally, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? W Leo back-to-back winners, bro. Word to bro. No, you definitely had more impactful ones. Nah, man. You know me, like, people are gonna hate to hear my name and whatever the case. I don't know why but anyways, right? I'm very unbiased, right? And some of them said the same thing you did, right? Where we were in the VC and they said that I was the winner of it. But I didn't agree. So I went to the CY in history and we looked to see who had more impactful ones. Bread, right? She had 3, but I could have sworn she had very impactful ones, and she did. But my SVPs were just not as impactful or as impressive as his were, right? Like my most recent one was the Lost in Black Hole War 1, where I tied with Xavier, right? But we lost by 7 battles. He had an SVP where I was the MVP with 21 plane kills, and he had 16. Nobody else had more than 10. Very impressive. Very, very much impressive. Very deserving. 100% goes to Leo, man. He had way more impressive SVPs than I did. 100%. Now, most tournament wins is fairly clear. I did go back to double check to see who had the most gold wins, right? But it was fairly clear. This is just a statistic. Obviously, you can go check in the CYN. Most tournament wins leaderboard. Most tournament wins crown is going to go to Prince. All right. I did get the most tournament wins overall, top 3s, and the most gold ones. So I am going to win that award. Most lore strength. This is also going to go towards the individual at the very top of the leaderboard with the most lore strength, right? Most lore power throughout the entire year and at the end of the season. And this is also going to go to myself. And then, oh, this is going to be a controversial one. I kind of like it, bro. I know a lot of people are not going to like, well, I mean, they should. I ain't going to lie. But anyways. Don't spoil it. Yo, WWW Acid. Thank you, man. He said W's. Nobody else said W's for my awards. But anyways, thank you, Acid. I appreciate that, bro. Word to bro. Word to bro. Grandmaster Award we're gonna go to very soon. Don't worry. I forgot who actually won that. I'm not gonna lie. I actually forgot, so I have to go look at it. L's. These are the niggas that were never doing Sovereign, bro. This is why niggas is on banned list. Word to bro. Trap. I don't know why you're. Yo, yeah, right. So anytime I win an award, we're gonna spam L's. Well, you're in for a long night. No, I'm just kidding. W's, thank you, Leo. Deadshot Award. Now, this is gonna be controversial, although like very skill-specific awards like the Ronin Award, Grandmaster Award, people are gonna be very like, you know what I mean, controversial. It's gonna be very controversial with it. But the Deadshot Award. Now, this goes to the best shooter overall, right? Any sort of FPS games and just shooting games overall in the community, right? Now, we have people like Scoob, right? You have people like Quan, right? You have people like Brett, right? You have a lot of people that could have won this award, right? And it was honestly, it took a long time. I don't remember how long this one took, right? But in my prime, I was the best. No. But it went to a lot, it could have gone to a lot of people. So we went through the CY in history, right? Because opinions don't matter, stats do, right? We went through all the wars, we went through all the tournament specifics, we went through all of that stuff to determine who it was. Better than Bryson Cram? Yeah, but not better than me. Winner of the Deadshot Award also goes to fucking Prince. Word to bro, man. I'm better than all you scrub ass niggas. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be cocky with that one. And this is gonna be the first half of the individuals for it. Quan for sure. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. We got more awards to get through, bro. We got more awards to get through. Let's do this one. Ooh. Ronin Award. The Ronin Award. Red should have? No. He shouldn't have, bro. She shouldn't have. Ronin Award. Now, this one took some time. This one took some time. This one took some time. Isn't Bread like literally the best at aiming? Ronin Award. We just say anything. Word to bro, we just said anything. Ronin Award. Now this award goes towards the best Battlegrounds type player in the community. And it goes to Prince. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody was like, what the fuck? Word to bro, I'm just kidding. Now, Bread is awful. She's not awful, she's just not better than me. I mean, word to bro. Sorry. Now, this award goes towards Ronin Award, right? The Ronin Crown. That sounds tough. The Ronin Crown? Now, this crown goes towards the best Battlegrounds player. And we took this one very, very serious. And I think this is one of the longest ones that we had to discuss. To the point where we had to literally link people's duels towards their tournaments, towards their tournaments as well. Like their duels and tournaments. And their, like, all that stuff. Their 1v1s, all of that had to be discussed. But there was one person that shined above all. In majority, right? You had Annie. You have Bread. You have Scoob. You even have Soul. You have Tigo. Right? You have Leo. But there was one person amongst the bunch that was just more dominant in Battlegrounds games than everybody else. The Ronin Award. The Ronin Crown for 2026. Season 1 for the CYN League is going to go to none other than Bread. Bread. 100% it's going to go to Bread. Thank you. Yeah, no else. All right, now else. No, but she deserves it. She genuinely does. Right? W Bread. She 100% deserves it. Right? We didn't go through based off of aura. We didn't go based off of the fact that she lost to Annie. We didn't go based off of just one little thing in particular. Right? She's won plenty of things. Right? Has beat the right people when she needed to beat them. And the people that she's lost to in regards to it, who she's lost to and what games and all of that stuff. But overall, the best Battlegrounds player in the CYN is going to go to Bread. W's. Now, we go based off stats. Now, if you think you're better than her, go beat her. Again. Or, you know what I mean? When we do more tournaments and stuff. But, 100%, it's going to go to Bread. Tornado slowly disappears, just saw his name was nowhere. Yeah, he didn't win an award. I told him to tighten up all year. I don't think he got nominated, except for the best duel with M and Tornado. Man, I told him all year. I've been telling him for the past couple months. I don't know why people think I'm lying. Where's it, bro? I told people to tighten up. Grand Master Award. Now, this is going to go towards the best non-combative player in the CYN. Now, this doesn't include shooters. This doesn't include any of that thing. Any of that. This goes towards the person that is just better overall in other games. Now, it was in between two people, I will say. But after further discussion, it went to one person in particular. Grandmaster Crown. Grandmaster Award. For the CYN League of the 2025-2026 season is gonna go to Soul. W's. It is gonna go to Soul, man. W Soul, bro. W Soul. W Soul. Alright? It was between him and Jade. Right? But his wins were just, I think he had more wins in particular. I think he had more wins in particular. I think that's really what it was. I think he had more wins in particular. But it was close. It was close. I do remember it being close. El Fraud. Niggas calling himself a fraud. Duelist of the Year. Now, Duelist of the Year goes to the person, the best duelist, right? For duels, right? Basically one of the best, or if not the best gamer in the CYN for the most part, right? Best 1v1 player for the most part. This could only go towards one person. Obvious. Duelist of the Year for the CYN League. Winner is gonna go to Acid. No, I'm just kidding. Acid got happy. His heart dropped and everything. He was like, me? Yeah, fuck no. Fuck no, Acid. Get a load of this guy. Yeah, no, it's gonna go to fucking Honey, bro. W Eddie, bro. Word to bro, W Eddie. Oh my god. Yo, oh my god. This guy thought he was like, yeah, no, nigga. No. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do you like that. I didn't mean to do you like that, bro. My bad, Acid. My fault. It was just perfect opportunity, bro. Alright, but yes, bro. It's gonna go to the most impressive duelist in the community, bro. 21-0. And 2 different personalities, mind you. Very impressive. Very deserving. To this day, he still has a 21 win streak and has yet to be beaten in any sort of 1v1 situation. Very deserving. Shout out to Honey/Annie in the chat. Congratulations, brother. You won the Duelist of the Year, bro. Asif should have won. For now. For now. Yeah, for now. Oh, shit. I don't even know who won that. My bad. Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, it's a stat, right? Most war wins by an individual in the CYN, right? For the CYN League 2025-2026 season is going to go to Prince for that award. Oh, fuck. I should have scattered around for these. Oof. All right. I'm not going to lie. W Prince, thank you, Xavier. I appreciate it. L's. L cheater. You know what? If I'm going to get L's, I might as well glaze myself. W Prince for the most consistent wins. One of the highest war win percentages in the CYN. Shows up day in and day out. Being one of the most impressive players out there in the battlefield amongst all games. Dedicated. Strategic. And head first, right? When he sees an issue, he does it. Not only does he participate with his team, but he uplifts them, right? But he makes sure, even if he doesn't, he puts it all out there. One of the most impressive individuals in the CYN, very deserving, most war wins, is 100% going to go to Prince. What's it about? No, bro. If I'm going to get L's, bro, I'm going to glaze it. I'm going to glaze it, bro. If I'm going to get L's, I'm going to glaze it. Nah, W Prince for punching it in. I didn't even do that. I lied. That's literally a fake story. To be fair, you didn't have a chance. There isn't a war without Prince. That's also fair. But Honey was actually very close. I think I only had 2 war wins above him. And then Chop was also very close. So anybody can win it next year, actually. Anybody can win it. So, I mean, Leo was there for literally, he only missed 2 wars to me. Just show up to all the wars. I mean, what's about? I could have lost all those. Leo lost a lot of them. He wasn't even in the top 3. So how did he have 2 less wars than me? But he only had a fraction of my war wins. You know what I mean? For being honest, Quan, he showed up the last like 3 months, and he has 12, I think. He has more than you, Soul, and you've been here all year. What's about? I'm just being real. Also, the highest war win streak in factions. No. Actually, the highest war win streak goes to Chop LeBron. It goes to Chop. I was going to glaze you, but you decided to be a cornball and glaze yourself. I guess I'm a cornball, bro. W self fucking glaze, man. W sub glaze, bro. I'm not taking these L's, bro. Prince, you are not. Prince, you're like a little brother to me. That shit was fucking random. Did we get to the Grandmaster Award? Yeah, you missed it. You missed the Grandmaster Award. We did do that. That hurt my feelings. You know I was busy in the Jerk Fate tournament. All right, bro. Most MVPs in the CYN. Now, this goes towards the individual that wins, not only wins wars, but also is the best player in those wars on the winning team. Most MVPs in the CYN League for the 2025-2026 season. With 12 MVPs is gonna go to Prince. Word to bro. Word to bro. Not gonna lie, man. Not gonna lie. I'm sorry, bro. No way Xavier won. Xavier won what? What are you talking about? Oh my god, Xavier. L call. Anyways, bro. I think we have another sheet after this. Anyways. Player of the Year. War Tycoon carries. We only did 5 of those, by the way. 7 of those. Got a load of her. She's just mad, bro. She's just mad. Player of the Year. Now, this goes towards the individual that just has the best overall. MVPs, SVPs, points, lore, combat record, all of it. Everything was looked into when it came down to Player of the Year. Right? Very serious award. Right? So he said tornado. Hey man, at least Tornado's not negative because he also is negative power. He had like -7. He's not. I think he has like 2 power now. GG's, bro. Anyways, Player of the Year, right? One of the best. It's Private Ryan, Mosh, Chop. Player of the Year, Paris. Oh. Nah, W Cash, Zach. I hate anticipation. Sorry. Jessica, Acid, Bryce. Or you guys are in for a rude awakening, bro. Player of the Year for the 2025-2026 season for the CYN League Season 1 is going to go to none other than Benedict Cooper. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to go to Prince, bro. I'm not going to lie. Between me and Prince, facts says. Big facts, bro. W's, bro. I think that's going to complete that page, bro. I think we have one more page. Man. Benedict Cooper, bro. W. Benedict Cooper. Word to bro. W. Benedict Cooper. W's. W. Prince, thank you, Xavier. I appreciate it, man. Was it the White Shadow? I forgot about White Shadow. All right. Where's the last page? W's awards, man. I am gonna, for everybody that's won awards or have been a part of it, whether it's the factions or whatever the case, it is gonna be updated very soon on your profile, so people can go ahead and check out not only how many you won, because it's only one time a year, right? Like we won't have another one of these until next year, right? And last year is when the CYN technically was formed, right? So that's how long you have an entire year. Literally, all these categories should be different, right? If you guys lock in. You know what I mean? All these categories should be way different next year if you just lock in for next year. All the factions are equal. We're going to have a faction point reset, all of that, right? But before we talk about any of that stuff, give me a second. Did you actually tie your tie before you stream, or did it come like that? No, I tie it. I know how to tie. I wear this tie a lot, usually. This is usually what I wear on stream. Give me a second. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I was just making sure this stuff was right. Prince, what did you say? Prince fixing all the stats to Soul. No, cap of the year, Soul and Chap. All right, well, speaking of it, vice captain of the year. Vice captain of the year. Vice captain of the year. Now, there have been plenty of great vice captains. Who am I kidding? There hasn't, bro. You guys suck. No, I'm just kidding. There's been a couple. All right? There's been a couple. Play Tyler the Creator before you announce it. Somebody time that nigga out. Not joking, bro. Where's it, bro? Now, there have been a good amount of vice caps. There have been a plenty amount of terrible vice caps that think they're good vice caps. Right? I went based off of a bunch of different things. Right? In regards to who led their team in wins. Right? Made sure to turn the culture around. Wins, strategy, all of that. Right? It came down to two individuals. It came down to Honey and Scoop in regards to that. But one person showed up and was above all else in regards to those combos. This person not only was a part of a winning faction once, dominant, and was a big part of it, but this person was also a part of a second dynasty in the CYN. It is going to go to none other than Mr. Honey himself. W's, bro. It's going to go to fucking Honey. Not only was he a big part of the strategy and wins for the Part 1 Monarchs, but he was also a big part of the strategy and wins of Sovereign. 100%. We wouldn't have been able to win as many wars without him. And I think M and Bryce, if they were still here at the beginning, right? They got banned, right? But they would also say that he was a very big part of the wins and dominance that they've had at the beginning of the season. And he was a part of both. Congratulations to Annie, to Honey, right? Great player, duelist of the year, vice captain of the year, very deserving, right? Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Unban M. Somebody go ahead and time out Acid. Captain of the year, right? Captain of the year. Now, this side, a heavy discussion in regards to it. This also had some heavy discussion in regards to it, right? Now, when it came down to it, it came down to obviously two people, right? And it was also in regards to not only just stats, right? But also impact, right? Because you guys know I get mad at a lot of the captains, right? Because I feel like that role is very important, right? Stats, well, give me a second. I'm gonna explain everything, right? That role is very important, right? You not only control the culture, you not only control how your faction is perceived, right? But you are responsible for a lot of how your faction is viewed across the community, right? And that's why I'm so hard on the factions captains, right? Vice captains too, but mostly the captains, right? I've yelled at Bread plenty of times. I've yelled at Leo plenty of times. I've yelled at all the captains plenty of times in regards to it, right? Because it is serious. You know what I mean? In regards to captain of the year, right? This person not only has Virus was made way before Sovereign. Anyways, mind you, never yell at me again. Shut the fuck up, Leo. Shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga. And because I'm a glazer. All right, well, that's the only important part to read. Now, captain of the year, right? Don't talk to him like that. I'm about to time everybody, bro. Get on my hero. I'm not fucking done. Right? Captain of the year is gonna go to none other than Mr. Cyanide Prince himself. W Self Glaze, bro. W's. As a matter of fact, I actually wasn't even really gonna give it to myself. I stayed quiet during that debate. It was actually the others that actually mentioned my name in regards to it. No cap. I actually didn't even really talk too much about it, to be honest. So W's to the ones that were like actually unbiased. Trap, he's saying liar, but he's actually the one. Don't make me pull up messages, Trap, because you can't delete them. All right, Xavier, you too. Don't make me pull up messages, bro. Word to bro, man. Word to bro. Yo, this shit least good pick. Not really. Not really. 100% now. I'm not gonna lie. Right? It would either go to me or Leo, but it was Leo's own people. Realistically, we're not gonna have sleepovers no more. Now, the last award for the CYN award ceremony, CYN League first annual ceremony of crowns for the 2025-2026 season. The Awakening Award. The Awakening Crown. Now, this one in particular, from what I remember, is the best comeback for an individual. The last one, right? The Phoenix was in particular for a faction, but this is the same thing, right? This goes to the person that made a crazy comeback, right? Or just a person that made their way up, right? And there have been plenty of people, like I mentioned before, when I was talking about the Phoenix Award, right? But this person, right? Although I'm not even going to say too much. This person deserves it, right? This person started at the bottom, made their way up, and had the biggest difference in it, right? This is the most improved individual, right? 6th man of the year type shit, right? The Awakening Award, the Awakening Crown, winner of the 2025-2026 season 1 CYN League is gonna go to Xavier. W Xavier, bro. 100% W Xavier, bro. Most improved player of the year. Most improved player of the year, 100%. Started at the bottom and made his way up, right? He never started at the top, went down and came up. No, he started at the bottom, stayed at the bottom for quite some time, and finally started to be and make his way up, right? I judge this based off a lot of qualities, right? Not just stats, right? Even though the stats are there, right? But also on, I've been in group chats with Xavier, right? With alliances and how he contributes to the team, right? He's not the one that tries to take charge in regards to, okay, this is what we're going to do and it's centered around me or whatever the case may be. He plays his role and he plays it very well. And in Trent, Centaura, any other faction alliances, right? I've been glad to work with this individual and I'm glad he's on my team every time. If I have the time to pick him, he's there. The reason we won the Protect the President War Tycoon War and why we weren't found. This person, Xavier, won this award and he deserves it. People like to discredit him, right? But I am very unbiased and I see things for what it is. And yes, he wins the Awakening Crown for the most improved individual in the CYN community. Very deserving. Congratulations, Xavier. Deserve it, bro. 100%. 100%, bro. 100%. And that's going to conclude the CYN League Awards for the 2025-2026 season, right? Now, a lot of people are a little annoyed in regards to it being biased or this, that. One thing's for certain, and you guys should know this, and I don't even think you believe that when you say that, is that you know I'm pretty unbiased. Not pretty, I'm probably the most unbiased. Okay? I looked at the stats. There were some awards that I could have won that I didn't, and I made sure it went to the person that they should have went. And there was times where other people could have won it, right? But I made sure it went to the person that it belonged to, because that's what matters. And not only that, but I didn't even want to be biased, right? Even though I'm not. I didn't want to make these decisions on my own. None of these decisions were made by myself, right? I literally called a meeting to discuss these things with multiple people. Okay? That's how serious I took this. I took this serious throughout the entire year. I've been telling people, make sure you improve, make sure you get MVPs, SVPs, make sure you get your tournament wins up, make sure you win wars. Very important. Make sure you win duels. Very important. All of these things are important. Right now, the strategists and all this and that, right? Some people may have not have known that and stuff like that, but that's just kind of like you do it or you don't, right? Like somebody like Honey, you know what I mean? If we had a strategist of the year, it'd be Honey, right? But in regards to all things considered, right? The people that won the stuff that they won deserve it. We went through everything, CYN history, duels, tournaments, all of it. It took 6 hours. 6 hours to discuss just a couple of categories, like 20 awards. It took a long time to discuss the nominees. That's how serious we took it. I'm dressed up. That's how serious I take it, right? Because it's not just one of those fake award ceremonies, this, and the third, some little bit of, you know what I mean? No, I take it very serious, man. This is the first one of many for years to come. And each year it's going to be more and more impressive. And just because you don't see the value in it now, doesn't mean it's not going to be valuable. I'm sure the person that won an Oscar the first year didn't see the value of it, but as in like the value of an Oscar is right now. You know what I mean? The potential in it. Now winning an Oscar is like the best thing you can do as an actor. Not even making hundreds of millions. It's winning an Oscar. It's a pride and joy, right? CYN is its own ecosystem, right? And as it being its own ecosystem, it's only going to evolve and get better and be more, it's only going to be more expressive in its own ecosystem, right? And that's why I have this, right? To show the people that win and contribute that are not only appreciative, but their achievements are recognized. You know what I mean? So everybody that's won an award, everybody that's been nominated, genuinely nominated, you will have those nominations on your profile on the app, right? I'll make sure, you know what I mean, when you go to specific individuals, right? It'll have a section where people will be able to click and see which awards were you nominated for, because being nominated is a big deal. Winning is a big deal, right? Just like all your other stats that people can see, they'll be able to see how many crowns, because mind you, the crowns are going to be there for an entire year. People that didn't win aren't going to have it there for an entire year. And you are, for those who won. So for those who took it serious throughout the year, right? For those who won, right? In 1 year's past, when the next season 2 winners come in a year, when there's 1,000 niggas, 10,000, we don't know, 10,000 niggas in the running, where it's going to take like a week to go through all the nominations and go through all that stuff. Just know you got it first. You were nominated first. You won first. You were one of the first people, the first factions to have won, right? Don't let the people discredit you, because I credited you. I made sure to look through all the stuff and to make sure to be very unbiased. There is no popularity vote. There is achievements. There's rank, right? What you going through the mud and you coming out of it, I see it. I saw you. Word. You know what I mean? Whether people want to call it corny, whether people want to call it cringe, you know me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you that I saw it. Word to bro. Okay? So congratulations to all the CYN award winners. If you are upset that you didn't win an award, there's only one thing that you can do. Make sure you win it next year. Because I'm going to be watching. I hope I don't win an award. But guess what? I'm going to try to win an award next year. I don't care that it's my community. I'm there for all the awards. I'm there for all the tournaments. I'm there for all of that stuff. You better make sure you come out with your A game. All right. Faction points will be reset, I believe, tomorrow. So for the faction point leaders, don't get comfortable. Right? Me, Leo, Honey, Chop, Soul, Juan, Brad, Xavier. Because everybody's going to 0. Let's see where you're at the end of the season in a year. 1, don't get banned. But 2, things can change like that. You miss a week, Leo's going to be here. And he's going to be here. I'm going to be here. And new people are going to come. If you don't want it, then you don't want it. Guess what? Real life, right? In real life, the actor that doesn't want it, you think they win an Oscar? The artist that doesn't want it, you think they win an Emmy? Or a Grammy? Sorry, a Grammy? You think the athlete that doesn't want it, you think they win an Emmy? Hurt to bro. They don't win, bro. Life is about winning. Happy birthday, man. Dang, it's not my birthday, bro. But you the birthday. Word to bro. Right? So, right, for all the people that are like down for not winning that many, or one, if you won at all, congratulations. Right? But above all else, if you were nominated, be proud of that, right? Because you're going to see very soon that there's going to be people that are going to talk shit, and you can literally just say, but I was nominated for Player of the Year. I was nominated for Duelist of the Year. Ronin Award. Grandmaster Award. Deadshot Award. My faction was nominated for the Faction of the Year. I'm a legendary faction. I'm in a legendary faction. Word. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, what do I have in my profile? All right, if you go to my profile, it says one thing. You're either first or you're last. So just make sure you're first, bro. Word to bro. Word to bro. There's a lot of awards there were very clear. Most war wins, who am I going to give it to? Most tournament wins, who am I going to give it to? Be that dominant. Be that dominant, bro. You know what I mean? Don't let it be a debate. Some are debates. Ronin Award was a debate. Deadshot was a debate. But don't let some of them be a debate. Go out there and win, bro. Lewis Hamilton, right? F1 driver. Arguably the greatest F1 driver, but he's still being debated on if he's the greatest. LeBron James and Michael Jordan still being debated on who's the best, right? But then you have somebody like Faker, League of Legends. There is no debate. He's the greatest. Don't let it be. Just win. Just win, bro. Next year, right? This upcoming season that's going to start next week, or, you know what I mean? War Tycoon War Series is coming again. Factions, all the factions are strong. There is no excuse. All the factions are strong. There is no excuse. Big Tej just talk about a comeback of the year. Tej, your ass better be there. Your ass better be there, big dog. But, like I said, you know what I mean? Next year, you know me, I want versatility. Not just games. Music. There's been streams where I've looked at plenty of games that involve music, that involved art, that involve strategy. Shooters, battlegrounds that are fighting type of games, platformers, right? Battle royales, survivals, all different types of games. Do not think you're going to be in the top of the leaderboard being a one-trick pony. If you don't practice, you don't win. Hurts a bro. You don't like the way the awards came out? You better hope your leadership is leadering, Brad. Brad, how have you been here all year and you didn't win more than one? Leo did, and he deserved it. But even Leo has his problems. He needs to make sure his faction wins more. Why didn't his faction win Faction of the Year? Bedtimes, bro. We have wars literally right before your bedtime. Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Brad, you should have won a lot more awards, Brad. You know what I mean? Too talented to not. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess we'll see next year. right? Because your faction, why was Phantoms not nominated for any, or not winning any faction related ones? It's a leadership thing. You got Scoob now. You got people. Trap is here to help you. Trap is a great gamer. Make sure you guys win. Right? Acid. Chop. Glitch wasn't even nominated for an award. Make sure you guys change that, bro, and win. Right? Phantoms have soul. Bro, y'all better use him. He's here. Use him. He needs to be like, he's one of the greatest gamers in the CYN, and he's not being utilized. Right? Virus, same thing. Right? Monarchs. Part 1 Monarchs. There's another part 1. Is history going to repeat itself, Annie? Or are you washed? Every faction has something to prove. Even my faction has something to prove. Right? All this glaze, all this award winning, can I now put it into the next season? Is Sovereign now washed? I got to think about that now. Right? Because I don't have my original faction mates. I got to think about that. Right? Is my faction washed now? That's the thing. So, word. Actually, I like Bread and Tramp and Jace. Yeah, but you guys don't talk enough. It takes a culture. Leo has a culture, right? Virus has a culture. You know what I mean? That's what you guys need. That's what Phantoms is missing. It's missing culture. Y'all win, right? But y'all could win more with culture. You know what I mean? Honey Annie, you just gave yourself a sub. But W sub, Annie. I appreciate it, bro. W mans. I appreciate the sub, bro. W's. What faction is T-Gen? You're my faction, bro. That's how we were talking in the Sovereign chat. You're my faction. Hey, man, you got big shoes to fill, Teach. You got big shoes to fill. Look. Look. Teach. Don't fuck it up. You got big shoes to fill, gang. Cause look.